I just want to say welcome you all to the ILCOR family. My name is Joyce. I am a professor in anesthesia and critical care. I work mainly in critical care now, and I'm the honorary secretary for ILCOR. Similar to Kevin, I'm also an emeritus member of EIT, and I'm also a member of the ILCOR SAC committee. And by the way, if you're confused by all the acronym, don't worry, you'll get used to them. And hopefully, after this meeting, you also get to know a little bit more about ILCOR. Um, yes, thank you. So we ran through this rather quickly, and it is wonderful to know that we have new members to all the task force. So you can see here now we have listed the chair and vice chair for each of the task force. We each have our area of expertise. I guess we work on different research questions within our task forces. So this is where you primarily will be working. However, there will be research questions where we share or overlap with other task forces. So you will be interacting with other task forces as well. And hopefully you would have already met your chair and your vice chair, and they will be the best people to guide you within your task force. And there will be other members in your team, including emeritus members who are normally members who've been on the task force for a while longer. So they are still helping, but perhaps not play such a major role. You have a scientific advisory committee member as well. It's called SEC member that look after each task force. And they are also sometimes you also work with external expert, content expert, content experts as well, or subject matter expert on some research question. But primarily, this will be a task force that you'll be reporting to. Next slide, please. Thank you, Veronica. We thought it would be interesting for you to know how you got nominated to your task force. So there is a nominating committee which have 9 members, including co-chairs and immediate past chairs of all task forces, and one of them is the chair. And they're responsible for calling for nominations for chairs and vice chairs and the members. And each nomination will then be considered and submitted to a committee, which then present the list to the board of chairs and vice chairs of task forces. And they also nominate task force members on an annual basis. As each person's term come to the end, they are often offered a choice to remain on as an emeritus member, or they also have a choice to work with a different task force as well. But the nomination committee have overall oversight of this process. Next slide, please. The initial screening when you apply is screened by the board and the chair, and then you are shortlisted based on what your background might be, where you came from, and your expertise from the nominating committee. And then you will then be ranked in order of what your desirable and how your expertise and what you can bring to the committee. And this is approved by ILCOR board and confirmed by a General Assembly. And so this process is all formalized to make sure that we're transparent and also have providers with balance between each task force, that we have good balance of diversity, different geographical regions, professional background, and also bring the expertise that each task force needs. So earlier career member would be defined loosely as those with less than 5 years out of residency or fellowship postdoc position. And there will be a mixture of those people who are a lot more senior, so that we've got a good balance in each task force. Next slide, please. And so, yep. So, as I say, balance of scientific and clinical expertise, a balance across different organizations and geographical locations around the world as well. We are paying specific attention to gender, ethnicity, how senior you are, and balance with earlier career researchers and more senior clinicians, and also diversity as well. Thank you. There are 18 regular members, and that doesn't include ILCOR officers and COSA editors who are dedicated to each task force. And again, we are very keen on this as a organization that we are committed to diversity and inclusivity in everything that we do. And hopefully, you will be able to see that when you start working with ILCOR. Next slide, please. Thank you. Chair and vice chair are each appointed for a 3-year term. They're eligible for 3 additional 1-year terms as they roll over. And task force member are initially appointed to 2-year term, and you're eligible for 3 additional 1-year terms. So it really is a welcoming environment, and we welcome members to stay on and continue to contribute to ILCO activities. So, as a task force member, your duty is working within your task force mainly. And it is difficult to say exactly how many hours you're expected to work, because sometimes there may be more work as you're preparing your research question, and other times you may be just attending meetings. But on average, it's about 4 to 6 hours per month. Some of the activities will include formulating and prioritizing PICO questions. So research question where we can break it down and work in a systematic review manner. This also includes sometimes scoping review. Within that, you work as a group. There will be a leader, and there will be co-leaders and content experts, and also a SAC member to support you. And we will do literature review and evidence synthesis to review studies identified for inclusion into specific PICO question. And once we are able to do the data extraction and look at the quality of evidence, we are then able to generate what we call COSTAR, consensus on science with treatment recommendations for publication. And this is then taken, as you already know, by various resuscitation councils around the world to then put into guidelines, documents, and publications and used in education around the world. So these are very important research questions. We do also, by looking at evidence, recognize where the knowledge gaps might be. And so when we write our publications, we also point to clinicians and researchers as to where the research should be. Within the task force, you'll see you should benefit from mentoring if you are new to the process by pairing up with a more experienced task force member. But we always expect to be working together, guiding you. And some of the process will be quite new, but don't worry, that's what your task force is there for. And there'll be discussion and agreement as to how to formulate your consensus of science as well. Once the review is done, Kevin is showing the website. We will then move the draft document onto the website for public commentary. And once we've got the public comments, the task force will then respond to that on the website and also make sure that we've addressed any concerns in our eventual publication. So as a task force member, we really do expect you to attend and actively contribute in task force teleconferences and webinars. And this doesn't matter whether you're brand new to task force or you're quite experienced researcher. We want you to engage and make sure that our output is as good, as high quality as possible. And what we ask of you, we do know that we're all volunteers, your time is precious, but to deliver the work on time so that we can produce high quality evidence. There is an annual performance evaluation with your task force chair, just to make sure that we are supporting your learning and your development. Next slide, please. Thank you. Task force meetings are online, normally 1 to 2 times per month, and there will be sometimes additional meetings or teleconferences, depending on whether we are close to a deadline or need to get output out there quickly together as a team. So always welcome everyone's contribution. Each recommendation, each publication, each co-star is decided by consensus within the task force. And sometimes we do get to vote as well. But everyone, no matter your job role, we very welcome your voice, and you will be able to vote as well. and there will be a show of hands or electronic hands on a virtual meeting. And I think it is quite rare, but if a decision cannot be reached, then it can be referred to a General Assembly for discussion.